Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 3, The Lord's Pastimes out of Vrindavan. Text number 2 onwards. Sandipane Sakrit Proktam Brahmadhitya Savistaram Tasmai Pratadvaram Putram Ritam Pancha Janodhara. The Lord learned all the Vedas with the different branches simply by hearing them once from his teacher, Sandipani Muni, whom he rewarded by bringing back his dead son from the region of Yamaloka. Purport. No one but the Supreme Lord can become well versed in all the branches of Vedic wisdom simply by hearing once from his teacher. Nor can anyone bring a dead body back to life after the soul has already gone to the region of Yamaraj. So this is, obviously Uddhavji is fast forwarding all the pastimes of Krishna. So this happened after Krishna killed Kansa and put Maharaj Ugrasen on the throne of Mathura. And then afterwards, Nanda Baba went back to Vrindavan. Vasudeva and Devaki were there. And then Krishna and Balram said, or somehow it was decided that, oh, you boys didn't go to school in Vrindavan. You didn't study at all. You were just playing with the cows and stealing butter and yogurt, doing all sorts of mischief. You are 11 years old, so you have to go to school. So both the brothers, they went to the school of Sandipani Muni, which is in current Ujjain. So they were in Mathura, they went to Ujjain for studies. And it is said that just hearing once, they remembered everything. Of course, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He doesn't even need to hear anything, but just to play the part of a disciple. So he learned from Sandipani Muni all the 64 arts of knowledge. And in that ashram is still there. If ever we plan to go to Ujjain, that ashram is still there. The Krishna and Balram came and studied, and Sudama was also there. So that pastime happened when Sandipani Muni sent Krishna and Sudama to get some firewood from the forest, and then the rain came and they got stuck, and the whole pastime. And here it is said, he brought back the dead body of a son of Sandipani Muni. So after the education was over, so Krishna and Balram, they went to Sandipani Muni that we have to give you Guru Dakshina. So Sandipani Muni's wife, she said that you bring back our dead son. That was the only son, and he died when he was very little. So I know you both are capable of bringing him back. So why don't you bring him back? So Krishna and Balram said okay, because they had to pay Guru Dakshina. So first they went to somehow, I don't know how they decided. So somehow first they went to the ocean, and Krishna jumped inside the ocean. He went to the bottom of the ocean. And then he saw this demon in the shape of Shankha, Panchajanya Shankha. He killed the demon and he got this Shankha, Panchajanya thorns. But then he came back, he said, I didn't find the son there. Then they both decided to go to Yamaloka. So when they went to Yamaloka, the son was there, and Yamraji said, well, I had brought this son, and now here it is, you can take him back. So they brought the son back, and And wife of Sandipni Muni was very happy, Sandipni Muni too. And they um, fulfilled their condition of paying Guru Dakshina, and then they both came back to Mathura. So Purport Prabhupada says, but Lord Krishna ventured to the planet of Yamaloka and found the dead son of his teacher and brought him back to his father as a reward for the instructions received. The Lord is constitutionally well versed in all the Vedas and yet to teach by example that everyone must go to learn the Vedas from an authorized teacher and must satisfy the teacher with service and reward. He himself adopted this system. The Lord offered his services to his teacher, Sandipni Muni, and the Muni, knowing the power of the Lord, as something which was impossible to be done by anyone else. The teacher asked that his beloved son who had died be brought back to him, and the Lord fulfilled the request. The Lord is not, therefore, an ingrate to anyone who renders him some sort of service. So wonderful statement, Prabhupada saying Krishna is not ingrate, he's not ungrateful person. And to anybody who renders even a little bit service, he always remembers that. And he gives back in multiplying it millions of times, and he gives it back, tries to give it back. The devotees of the Lord who always engage in his loving service are never to be disappointed in the progressive march of devotion service. Of course, the devotees who don't ask for anything material, with them it is very difficult for the Lord to reciprocate. Because for people or for devotees who want something material in return to the devotional service, it's easy for Krishna to give. But those who say, I don't want anything, then Krishna says, now what to give him? That's a big problem. Because Krishna is bound by his devotees' desires. He cannot forcibly give them anything. He tries to give them something material, but devotee says, I don't want it. And if he doesn't want, Krishna gets bound. He doesn't give. Many times people ask, why Krishna's devotees are poor and Lord Shiva's devotees are always very rich? Well, the devotees of Lord Shiva, they generally, or mostly, they ask for something material. That's why they worship Lord Shiva. But Krishna's devotees, on the other hand, they don't worship him for anything material. So people then say, okay, they don't ask, but doesn't Krishna know that they need some money, some material, um, some material help? But the problem with Krishna is the devotees say, I don't want anything material. If he just keeps quiet, then Krishna can still help him materially. But the problem is the devotees say, I don't want anything material because if I become materially rich, I might forget you. I might not carry on with my devotion service. So then Krishna gets stuck. Now what to do? So it's in this case, it's not that the devotee is serving Krishna. Krishna also wants to serve his devotee, but he gets stuck. Now what to do? He doesn't want anything material. And he already has devotional service. He already has love for me. What else I can give? So it's a big dilemma for Krishna. But this is the loving relationship between Krishna and his devotees. Just like there is this, we talked about Sudama. So Sudama, we know that Guru Mata had given them a bag of chanas to be eaten when they are in the forest. So where it started raining, they were both on different branches of the tree, but Sudama somehow he got hungry and he ate it all. He didn't give anything to Krishna. So Krishna was hungry, but he didn't say anything. His friend had eaten, so it's okay. But when they got down, Sudama was feeling very, very sad, and he was feeling guilty that why did I do it? But it happened. So after the school, Krishna went back to Mathura. Sudama went back to his place near Dwarka. Actually, we went to his place in Porbandar. That's where his place is. So, but it so happened, and he was a Brahman, but he was very poor Brahman, very, very poor. So poor that him and his wife, they had to beg, and in begging they didn't get a whole lot to eat. And he had his wife, he had his kids. So then Krishna moved from Mathura to Dwarka. He created a big, big city with big, big palaces, and the whole uh, architecture was involved in creating the city. So Krishna was living there. So one day, Sudama's wife, because she had heard about Sudama talking about Krishna, that Krishna is my very dear friend. And Sudama's wife, because she could not bear the poverty and the suffering that Sudama, her husband Sudama, was going through. But Sudama, all this while, he never, even in his dream, asked Krishna for anything. So Sudama's wife told him, why don't you go and see your friend? And Sudama was happy at the proposal because he wanted to go see his friend. But he knew his wife's heart, and he was shy of asking for anything. His wife said, at least ask him something so our poverty can go away, and we at least we can live comfortably. You can do your bhajan and the kids have something to eat. So Sudama said, okay, I'll go. And his wife, she said, at least let me get something that you can give to your friend. Because it's not good to just go there bare hand. So she went around, she asked people, she begged for something. And this is the cheapest thing anybody can give is a handful of puffed rice. Basically, it doesn't cost anything and it doesn't even fill anybody's stomach. This handful of puffed rice. So she just got three handfuls of puffed rice. And she just tied it up in a potli and asked Sudama to go. So Sudama went to the palace of Krishna. Of course, the soldiers outside the palace, the security guards, they stopped him. And there is actually this beautiful bhajan sang by Lakha. I think after the class, you all should listen to that. It's beautifully sung and beautifully written. So Sudama went and he told the security guards, I'm a friend of Krishna. And the security guard looked at him up and down and up. He says he's friend of Krishna. He's wearing all torn up clothes and Krishna is Dwarkadhish. How come he's friend? But somehow Krishna got the wind that Sudama has come, and Krishna came and he took Sudama with him to the palace, to the inside of the palace. And when Rukmini ji saw that Krishna is bringing Sudama like that with so much of respect and honor, she was, first of all, she was surprised, but then Krishna brought Sudama and made him sit on his own bed. And then Rukmini ji was there, and Krishna, with his own loving hands, he washed the lotus feet of Sudama. And he was asking him all about himself. How are you doing? And this and that. And Rukmini ji was surprised. How come this poor Brahman and Krishna is so respectful, so friendly towards him? And then Krishna explained, we went to the same Gurukul. Rukmini ji was very happy. And then Krishna said, well, you have come here, Sudama. Your wife must have sent something for me. Some gift must be there. Give me that gift. And Sudama, all this while, he was speechless, looking at the opulence of Krishna. the palaces and the clothes he was wearing, and the Rukminiji kind of clothes and jewelry she was wearing, and Sudama was wearing all torn up clothes. And Sudama was very hesitant to even give that bag of puffed rice to Krishna, because it wasn't of very good quality either, because people don't give beggars the best quality of whatever they have. So but Krishna saw the love of Sudama in that bag, and he just grabbed that bag and he ate one handful of that puffed rice, and he was saying, "Oh, this is so sweet. This is so sweet." He was going to eat the second hand, and Rukmini ji stopped him. Rukmini said, "You already eaten one hand. Don't worry. Leave the rest for us as your prasad." Actually, Rukmini ji was thinking that this puffed rice is so cheap. If Krishna eats it, his stomach will get upset. So I don't want Krishna to eat this puffed rice. But on another hand, she was thinking, of course, this is the external reason. Internal reason was she was thinking, by eating one handful of puffed rice brought by Sudama, you have decided to give him everything. If you eat second handful of puffed rice, what else will you give him? You have decided to give him everything material and spiritual. Because you're so obligated to somebody who has brought just one handful of puffed rice, even not his own, he begged it and he brought it. But Krishna wasn't tasting the puffed rice, he was tasting the friendship and devotion of Sudama. So, anyway, Sudama spent the night there, and next morning he took leave of Krishna and he started going back. But see, Sudama's character, he still did not ask Krishna for anything. He didn't. And Krishna didn't ask him either because he didn't want to embarrass his friend. This is Sudama. So Sudama started coming back to his place. Meanwhile, he was thinking, "Oh, Krishna, my friend Krishna is so merciful. It's good that he didn't give me anything material, because otherwise I would have been puffed up and I would have forgotten him, stopped my devotional service. It's very nice. He's so merciful." And then he was relishing his time with Krishna. But then he was thinking, "Oh, my wife will get upset when she sees me without bringing anything. But that's okay. I'll try to explain it to her." And thinking like that, talking to himself like that, he came back to his place. And then he came back, he saw wherever his hut used to be, there was a huge palace. And he was looking around, he was thinking, "Oh, maybe I got lost. I went to some place else. I was supposed to go to my hut." But he was looking around where to go, whom to ask, which direction to go to now. He had never seen that palace before at that place. So while contemplating like that, he saw few maidservants came out from the palace. And he was like, "Who are you?" And they came out and they said, "Oh, our master, please come inside. Queen is waiting for you." And he was thinking, "What queen? What did I do? I didn't steal anything from any queen. I didn't ask anything from any queen." And they took him inside, and inside he saw his wife was sitting completely uh, fresh bathed and covered with beautiful clothes and ornaments. So Krishna, even without Sudama's asking, he just fulfilled his wife's desires, because the wife wanted Sudama to not live in the poverty anymore. So so somebody can say, didn't Krishna see that Sudama was impoverished before? But the problem was Sudama was never asking, neither did his wife ask for anything. And they were saying, "We don't want anything, otherwise we'll get puffed up." But this time, still Sudama didn't ask, but at least his wife asked. So then Krishna had no problem, not even any second hesitation. He just fulfilled her desires. This is Krishna. But 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 the devotee, he doesn't actually ask for anything. He only asks for, give me more service, give me devotional service. Just like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he performed his uh, Mahaprakash Leela at the house of Shivas Thakur. So Mahaprakash Leela was when, so far, and even afterwards, Mahaprabhu always claimed that he's a devotee of Krishna. He never said he's Supreme Lord himself. But that day, somehow he was in different mood and he wanted to give benedictions to all his devotees. So when he went for Sankirtan at Srivas Thakur's house, he sat down where Srivas Thakur's altar was. And Srivas Thakur used to worship the Shaligram Shilas. So Mahaprabhu sat down and he picked up all the Shaligram Shilas, kept them on his lap. And then he sat down, he looked at all the devotees assembled, and the devotees somehow understood, okay, now he wants to be worshipped as a Supreme Lord. So first they arranged for Abhishek. Thousands and thousands and thousands of pots of Abhishek. They were bringing pots, filling up with Ganges, and they're bringing them there, and they were bathing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu was relishing it, enjoying it. And then they all brought so much of bhoga to be offered to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu ate it all. And then Aarti was performed, and then Mahaprabhu asked one by one everybody to come and ask for benedictions. So yes, all the devotees came, but few devotees that we want to talk about is one was Kholavecha Sridhar. He wasn't even there in the assembly, and Mahaprabhu asked Shivas Thakur and the devotees to go and find Kholavecha Sridhar and bring him. They had never even heard of this name, Kholavecha Sridhar. Who is Kholavecha Sridhar? Kholavecha Sridhar was a very, very, very poor devotee, and he used to sell. So Khola Vecha means he used to sell the items that he get from banana tree, like banana leaves, banana fruit. And Nimai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was little boy as Nimai, he would always go, while on the way to Ganges, he would stop at Sridhar's shop and he would argue with him for hours and hours over the price of the items that which Sridhar was selling. And Sridhar would get so not upset because he would love the face and the form of Nimai, but he would get kind of harassed. What is it? And he would tell Nimai, why you come and harass me every day over the price? My prices are the lowest in the market. Why don't you go and find some other vendor if you don't like my prices? And Nimai would reply, no, if I found the best vendor, why would I go to somebody else? And then they would argue again, and then Kholavecha would say, okay, just take it for free and just go. So when Mahaprabhu sat down and he asked devotees to bring Kholavecha Sridhar, devotees went all over. And then Mahaprabhu, they came back, we didn't find anybody named like that. Mahaprabhu then told them, okay, go this direction and his hut is over there. So they brought Kholavecha Sridhar. And Kholavecha came and he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sitting on the throne, and he fell down, paid obeisances. And Mahaprabhu asked him, get up, Sridhar, Kholavecha, Sridhar, ask me for any benediction. Kholavecha said, I don't want anything. Kholavecha Sridhar used to live in a hut where it had more holes in the roof of the hut than any place else. And he would wear clothes that he would just find on the roadside. And when the clothes would worn out and there would be holes in the cloth, he would just take two pieces, two ends of the hole and just put a knot and knot them together. And this is how he was wearing. And he had only and only one piece of utensils, and that was one iron pot, which was dented at every place and rusted. It was so bad that even it is said even the most desperate thief would think 1,000 times before stealing that pot, and that's all he had. And Mahaprabhu was asking him, ask me for some benedictions. He said, I don't want any. He said, at least ask me at least to get the roof of your hut fixed. Kulavachashvita said, there's so many birds living in the nest. They don't have a roof. They're also living, they're also enjoying. So what difference does it make if I don't have a roof? Mahaprabhu still asked him, no, at least ask me something. I want to give you something. And you know what Kulavachashvita asked? He asked that let me always, always, always remember that beautiful, naughty Nimai who would come to my shop and haggle with me for hours every day. Let me never forget that Nimai. So in this case, even Mahaprabhu was helpless. Now what to do? What to give him? So this is the wealth of devotees. They just want the Lord's service, Lord's love. That's all. They just want to be able to chant Lord's names. That's all. They don't want anything material. And then, of course, if they want, they will, like here, Sandeep Muni's wife asked for the son. That's all she wanted. And Krishna brought him back, and they were happy. So anyway, I'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Sudama ji was from not from Braj.
No.
Okay. So only association was of Gurukul.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
You're welcome. Okay, so I guess we'll stop here. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Jai Shri
Hare Krishna.